All right, ladies and gentlemen, what I am doing right now is the final walkthrough. Now, the final walkthrough is the last step before we go to closing. Of course, some of the things that we got to check at the final walkthrough is to make sure that the seller did what he was supposed to do as promised from the PICRA items, right? For example, to make sure that all the utilities work. That includes the light, that includes plumbing, that includes everything. Also to make sure that the property is clean. So far, for what we've seen, the seller has done a magnificent job to make sure that his side of the bargain has gotten done. Now, we still have some more to check before the final walkthrough is completed. Once it's completed, we're going to submit the report before we go to closing. Closing should be within the next 24 to 48 hours. But I got to make sure that everything is done, because we don't want to get to closing and find out that things have not been done yet, for the house. So that's why we're here, to make sure that the seller has done what he has promised to do for the buyer. Okay? We got to make sure that light's working, water's working. So right now we're right next to a switch. Boom, this one works, okay? We can see this one works. So we don't have to make a notation about that because this one works. Now we're moving right along. We gotta make sure that the fan works as well. Right now, I just put it on, okay? I just put it on, boom. It's working perfectly. As you can see, I'm gonna put the light switch on as well to make sure that it works. Boom, there we go. This is working. So the seller has done a fantastic job in this room to make sure that the light's working, to make sure that the fan is working. And we're gonna do that for all the rooms, including the kitchen and everywhere. But so far, these 2 rooms are looking good. Actually, the 3 rooms on the 3rd floor are looking good. We're gonna go down to the 2nd floor, to the 1st floor, and continue the process until we're done. We got to make sure the microwave's working. We got to make sure that the dishwasher's working, the oven, the stove, everything's working before we get out of here. Thank you. All right, now check out what we got here. This is the balcony for the 3rd floor. We're going to open it to make sure that not only the door works, but also the balcony is looking nice and clean. So as you can see, this is the balcony overlooking the ocean view, overlooking the street. It's pretty clean. It's looking good. So far the seller has done a fantastic job to make sure that he has kept his side of the bargain. Thank you. All right. So here we are again, ladies and gentlemen. This is a 3rd bedroom on the 3rd floor. I just turned the lights on. I just turned the fan on. They're both working. So far the seller is doing a fantastic job to make sure that he has kept his side of the bargain. So far, so good. Whatever is not done, we'll take a note of it and we'll just, let everyone involved know. But it's not going to stop the process from closing. We can still, do the closing and let the seller know what he needs to fix even after closing, if the process is minor. If it's major, then he's going to have to get it done before we go to closing. Thank you. To check the washer, to make sure that the lights are on, okay? All the lights are on. To check the dryer, make sure the door is closed properly, and boom, there we go. The dryer is working perfectly. It's working perfectly. So to stop it, I'm just gonna open the door, close it, there we go. Move on to the next step. All right, here we are in the kitchen. This is one of the most popular places for the women. Why? Because this is where they cook. This is where they prepare the food. And I tell you what, I love the kitchen myself. But one of the things that the seller did, right? He gave the buyer a brand new microwave. Because when we did the home inspection, the previous microwave was not looking good. But as you can tell, this is a brand new microwave. Thanks a lot to the seller. Seller did a fantastic job. They still got the peels over here, that we can peel, but we'll take care of that for another time. This is a refrigerator. It was here during the home inspection. Nothing was wrong with it, but I just want to let you know, it's a nice looking refrigerator. Okay? Very nice. Nice and clean. They've done a great job. Okay? But I just want to share with you again that I, as the real estate agent for Generation Next Realty Team, has done a fantastic job negotiating to make sure that all this job gets done. It wouldn't have been possible if it weren't for me. All right, this is the kitchen sink. We got to make sure that the kitchen sink works as well, okay? As you can tell, the kitchen sink works. It works. It works. This was one of the issues that we had at home inspection, but based on our negotiation, I was able to make it happen. So we have water. One of the things that we also want to do at the final walkthrough is to make sure that electricity works. And one of the ways that we're doing that right now is with our phone, okay? Boom, it works. I felt the vibration coming through the phone and I looked at the percentage, it definitely works. And I'm gonna do that for each socket throughout the house because every socket needs to work. There are different ways that we can check to make sure that electricity works. This is just the way that we chose to do to make sure that it works right now. There are several different ways. Now I'm going to be checking the outlets out here up here on the third floor. I'm going to start with the master bedroom first. That works. Okay, let me check the other bathroom. Make sure lights work. So everything in here works. Moving on, moving right along. Let's go to the next. Okay. Electricity definitely works in this bedroom. As you can see, the fan's on, the lights are on, and all the outlets are working. So, oops, here's one. Missed this one. Nope, yep. They all work. Works. Works as well. Outlets work, lights work, fan, and the AC works down here. It's chilly. We got to take a note, the yard, as you can tell. Okay. But I'm down on the first floor to make sure that all the outlets work as well. This is the last floor. Light works, fan works, outlets work. Awesome. Moving on, moving along. Lights work, fan work, outlets work, everything work as far as electricity on the first floor. So we're good to go. Needless to say that the real estate agent did a lot of negotiating to make sure the picker items were taken care of for us to get to this phase. And I'm also grateful for the other side to have done their part. All right. One of the things that I want to talk about though is the yard. As you can see, the yard was not cut. Now, this is something that we will make sure that we make mention to the seller as soon as we're done. It's not a big deal, and it's not going to stop the process from happening. It's not going to stop closing. All the seller is going to do is send one of his workmen out here between today and tomorrow to make sure that the grass gets done. It's not a big deal, okay? It's not a big deal. But one of the things that I like about this property is that it's so close to the beach, man. I mean, the beach is right around the corner. You want to relax, have a peaceful day, have a lovely day, go to the beach and have a wonderful time. So close to the beach. All right, that works. That works as well. Perfect spot to put a barbecue cookout outside in the yard. Nice spot for a barbecue cookout. But we'll wait till the grass is cut and we'll do what we need to do. For example, this little piece right here. You know, this piece right here needs to be glued on. That's trivial. Don't have to mention that to the seller. I can put some Gorilla Glue on that, stick it back, boom, and we're good to go. See, when it comes to these kinds of things, you don't want to be too picky. Certain things you can do for yourself. You don't have to mention everything to the seller. Certain things, if it's really, really trivial, you can do for yourself. So you don't want to be too picky. You don't want to stop closing just because something trivial took place. Certain things you can do for yourself. I'm just saying.
See her name and address and all that.
Check the stove,
We're doing the walkthrough, girl.
refrigerator,
It's nice and cool in here, though.
dishwasher,
AC is popping.
central air conditioning
I was
unit.
saying the AC is
Yeah, and so I am writing one or two discrepancies with the house, but not just because we have those discrepancies means that we're not going to go to closing. We'll just take note of it, let the seller know, so the seller can rectify this even after closing. So here, I'm going to write the discrepancies, and we're going to pass it on to all the parties involved.